Maschine Plus versus the MPC. Let's get it.
Mini click.
What's up? This is the THEKINGOCAESAR, and usually on this channel we do unboxings, gear reviews, and tutorials. But today we're going to have a conversation. So, hey, if you're new here, please consider subscribing and hit that bell notification like arcade 1 buttons. So today I'm putting the Maschine Plus up against the MPC Live 2. The reason I'm doing this is, one, because of the price, and we'll get to that towards the end of the video. But the other reason is because we know who Native Instruments was directly competing against when they released the standalone unit. That's why in every video title you see on YouTube is MPC Killer, MPC Killer, MPC Killer, the destroyer of all things standalone. MPC. Sorry. I had something in my throat. And rightfully so, because MPCs for the longest time have set the standard when it comes to standalone workflow. But does the Maschine Plus pose a problem for Akai? Let's find out. Now, just a little disclaimer. I am coming at this with the point of view of being an MPC user and having thoughts of switching over to the Maschine. I can't speak for Maschine users, but if you don't own either unit, then what I'm about to go over are things that you should consider, so stay tuned. Let's get the battle underway.
Round 1. Fight!
Now, first we're going to go over the things that they both have. They both have quad-core processors. They're both audio interfaces and can be used as a controller or a standalone unit. They both have MIDI ins and outs. Both have stereo inputs and stereo outputs. They both have two USB 3.0 ports. They both have 1/4 inch headphone inputs. Both units also have SD card slots. The Maschine Plus has an effects touch bar, which to me is similar to the touchscreen of the XY effect, so I'm going to call that as being the same. Now let's get into the things that make them different, starting with the Maschine Plus. The Maschine Plus is packing 4 gigs of RAM versus the MPC's 2 gigs. You're going to need that 4 gigs to run the Native Instruments suite of plugins that it comes with. So we're talking about Contact, Massive, and Monarch, just to name a few. The Maschine Plus also has a dynamic mic input, and it also has an input for a pedal of sorts. And if you like to navigate fast, the Maschine Plus has more dedicated buttons than the MPC Live 2 does, but the MPC Live 2 is not too far behind. Let's talk about the MPC Live and what it has over the Maschine Plus. The Live 2 has 2 MIDI ins and out versus the 1 MIDI in and out that the Maschine Plus has. It also has 3 stereo outputs versus the 1 stereo output that the Maschine Plus has. Not only does the MPC Live have stereo inputs, but it also has phono inputs too, so you can switch between live and phono. That's something that the Maschine Plus is lacking. The MPC Live also has internal storage, so it comes with 16 gigs of onboard storage, and it has a SATA port that you can expand that up to, I think, about 2 terabytes if you want to, with SSD or regular hard drives, versus the Maschine Plus's SD card slot. The MPC Live 2 also has CV gates that will give you a total of 8 outputs, along with a 7-inch multi-touch gesture screen, a battery built that gives you 6 hours of battery life away from any wall charger, and integrated high-quality speakers built into the unit.
Finish him! Fatality.
Now, clearly, if we were just going head-to-head with specs, the MPC Live 2 would be the clear winner. Now, as far as usable specs, I can tell you that I haven't used the CV gates or the extra outputs on the MPC Live, but all the other specs are a go for me. Now, I see people don't care about the touchscreen, the batteries, or the speakers, but if you ever had these things, you really don't want to go back to not having them. That's like having an iPhone and going back to a Nokia flip phone. Half of you guys don't even know what a Nokia flip phone is, which clearly tells you how old I am. But trust me when I tell you, having a touchscreen phone is way better. Just the battery alone is a godsend because it's allowed me to make beats virtually anywhere I want to with the press of a button. The battery paired with the 1 terabyte SSD hard drive that I have in it means that I literally only have to carry just the unit with me. No power cords, no wall chargers, no external hard drives. Now, this isn't just me ragging on the Maschine Plus. The Maschine really does have a lot to offer, like 4 gigs of RAM. That's amazing when it comes to running those Native Instruments suite of plugins that we have all grown to know and love. Just to be able to run Contact and Massive alone makes it worth it. And anybody who's ever ran Native Instrument plugins know that they're premium. Now, I do think there is another company that could have did this first. Can anybody guess who? Oh, that's right, Akai. This is the second iteration of the MPC Live. They could have put 4 gigs of RAM in the MPC Live too, but they did not for some reason. That would have been the thing to push the MPCs to the next level. But they had to go and let Maschine beat them to the punch. Now with the MPCs, we do have plug-in capabilities, but they just don't stack up against Native Instruments plug-in suites. With more RAM, we probably could have got more advanced, better sounding plugins within the MPC Live too. Now, working with the MPC REN gave me an appreciation for dedicated buttons, which the Maschine Plus is loaded with. So what that means is better navigation and faster workflow. All in all, the Maschine Plus seems like a great unit. And all the people that already use Maschine are probably going to love this standalone unit. But if I didn't own either one of these units, both of them would be contenders for me if it wasn't for one huge discrepancy. And the one reason why I felt like Native Instruments dropped the ball on this one. And that is the price. The Maschine Plus starts at $13.99 versus the MPC's $11.99. Now, at the end of the day, budget is huge. And if I was in the market for a standalone unit, I would pick the MPC Live because it's cheaper and it has more specs. Okay, everybody won't use all the features, but I'm the type of guy that likes to have and not need later versus to not have and need later, if you know what I mean. Now, to me, this should have been priced the same as the MPC One. If it was, you might have MPC users like me willing to pick this thing up as a second to the MPC Live or to dabble in the Maschine universe because producers have a problem when it comes to not buying new gear. I think this has a term. Oh yeah, it's called
gas.
Even though you get the Native Instrument plugins, which is a huge selling point for the Maschine Plus, all I would have to do was auto sample those plugins into my MPC Live using the auto sample feature that it comes with. I have a video on this, so if you guys want to check that out, I will link it in the card up above. With all that said, there is innovation here on the side of Native Instruments and a new contender on the block for the Akai MPCs. And out of all the videos that I watched, there's one thing that I do agree with everybody on, that this is great for a certain group of people. Yes, that is us, the consumer. Tell me your thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you like the new Maschine Plus or are you team MPC? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys are interested in purchasing either one of these machines, I will have links in the description where you can pre-order the Maschine Plus or buy the MPC Live. Just choose the one that makes the most sense for your studio and your workflow. That's all I have for you. Stay blessed, stay safe. OCs are out. Peace.